I'm sure with the way you do your content, you might be able to write it off anyways.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Everything but the BMW is written off because I film with them so much and it's part of my brand.
Right.
I'd say it's a slippery slope. Like my CPA who's a little more conservative. She was like, for you can do it because you're a car creator. Good luck if you're like just a regular small business owner trying to write off like a Lamborghini Aventador. Like the IRS is going to be like, no.
I know people that try to write off their watches. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. Daniel Mack here today. Thanks for coming on, man.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
It's cool to have another fellow podcaster on.
Yes, sir. Very cool, dude.
Yeah, you started this show recently, right?
Yeah, within like the last year or so, but it's not to your scale, I'd say, for sure.
Yeah, you're more picky with your guests, I know.
It's just periodic, yeah. It's like, this month, I travel a lot, so yeah.
What made you branch off? Because your specialty was short form before that, right?
Yeah, totally.
So what made you want to branch off into more long form stuff?
I mean, I think like, obviously, I asked people what they do for a living, short little clips. They're like a minute long, usually in between a light cycle on Rodeo Drive. So I really like wanted to dive into like how people become wealthy and they like more like a longer format essentially because a lot of people are wanting that,
right?
And it makes complete sense, I feel like, as compared to like, oh, I got rich with like these quick little things. Like you can't really get into the nitty gritty with it unless you're like doing a long interview.
Yeah, because you have one question and then the video's over.
Yeah. And literally, like I said, like on this light cycles on Rodeo, like I had like 40 seconds. I'm like,
so you would literally go to the traffic light and
yeah. Like the main, like there's a main for people that don't live in Los Angeles. There's like the main like area Rodeo, obviously, and like that's where all the rich people are. And I do it in between like the major light.
Wow.
And it's almost a minute. I'm like, damn, if it was a little longer, maybe I'd be able to monetize better on
wild.
TikTok. But
yeah. What percentage of people actually answer the question versus just drive off?
Most people do. Like at the beginning, a lot of people were confused before like people started asking people what they do. Like now, even a lot of people, they'll be like, "Oh, you got me on Rodeo." I'm like, "That wasn't me." It's like become like a whole thing. But I'd say like 90% of people answer the question are very friendly because on this Rodeo Drive area, like they want to show off. They're in a Ferrari, windows down. But like 1% of the time, people like yell at me.
Really?
They scream and get like super pissed off. Yeah.
They're probably like super private people, I'd assume.
Yeah.
They don't want views.
I'd say, and I'd be like, I wouldn't bother them, but they're on this strip, which is like the show off strip. So like, I don't go to people at like a grocery store and bother them. I do it like in an area like with their windows down, like on a Ferrari. Like I'm like, it's not.
Yeah. Has someone ever told you to take the video down?
All the time, yeah.
Really?
Although if people are friendly on site and they're just like, oh, please don't film me, I'm like, oh, sure, and I delete it right then and there. But if they're like really rude, and by the way, those are great clips. Like I used to hate it, but now I'm like, oh yeah, keep yelling at me. I'm like, okay, like screw you. Like if you're gonna be a huge dick.
Yeah. It's wild that people could get that triggered so easily.
Yeah. I mean, like it's not like I try to be as professional and friendly as possible, and it's just like, hey man, you have a cool car, and yeah, but some people get angry.
Yeah. What have been the most common job professions you've seen from these people driving luxury supercars?
So I'd say the number one most common thing that all these wealthy people have is that they own real estate. Almost 99% of people in these Ferraris that I interview own real estate. And 90% of them probably own their own business. So that's like where you get like the upper echelon of like Bugatti owners. Like there's a cap on how much you can obviously make when you're working for someone else.
Right.
I would say about a third of people I interview still do have like 9-to-5 jobs, but they're usually in tech, law, or engineering.
Okay.
And those are kind of like the main, like mostly STEM things. But then there's also some spin-off careers that are pretty interesting, like plumbing. There's a lot of plumbers out there that make a lot of money.
Really?
Like a lot of the trade school stuff, like electricians. And then I see a lot of people that do consulting and stuff like that.
Damn, plumbers are driving supercars?
Plumbers are driving supercars. Yeah.
Holy
like
crap.
Sometimes crazy supercars. Like it's like a very like in-demand industry that I think a lot of people don't realize can make you a lot of money.
I guess if you think about it, the margins are really good on plumbing.
Yeah. It's a dying thing too right now. Like there's like a plumbing shortage. Like there's all these old people are dying, all the boomers basically. And then after COVID, a lot of them didn't go back to work. So right now, like if you want to be a trade school person, there's like a huge gap of young people that need to fill it.
I could see that because our generation's not as hands-on as boomers.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like on our phones and stuff.
It's going to be like a $200,000 job here in like the next, it's like the new thing basically.
Damn, $200K a year is pretty good.
Yeah. People are making like already people are making like 150,000 if you want to be like a plumber.
Yeah. I mean, all they're really doing is their time because they don't need to buy that much equipment for plumbing.
It's super profitable as like a business if you own like a plumbing company. And a lot of the times these people own plumbing companies too. Like they'll be plumbers, make their own thing, and then they are making like millions of dollars a year.
I might have to invest in one. Sometimes it's the unsexy businesses.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's where I get a lot of wealthy people is like they are the ones that make like the light filaments and like like a thing, or like something that's like a small little part, like this little screw right here. And they're the billionaires that make crazy money.
Have any of the interviews really stuck out to you, inspired you in a certain type of way?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten a lot of people that just have like very unique. I think like the biggest thing I'd say is you can make money doing pretty much anything. Like I have people that make millions of dollars like selling like ice to companies, and you're like, oh, someone's got to do it. So I'd say like it's kind of interesting because you think that there's like the main few things that you have to do to make money, but really you can make a lot of money doing pretty much anything that you set your mind to.
Right.
And the more niche is kind of the more money if you're like able to capitalize out on that industry.
Yeah. I mean, you really can. Look at how you're making money.
Yeah,
You're asking people how they make money.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's like I try to explain it to people that are older. I'm like, yeah, I ask people what they do for a living, and it's like a very like post-COVID Gen Z job.
Yeah. And now I'm asking you how you make a living.
Yes.
While you ask other people. It's like a loop.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have plans to start other businesses though?
Yeah, I'd say, people ask me for like my master plan, and I wish I kind of had something, more. I'd be doing it right now if I had that on site. But yeah, I think diversifying is something that like content creators have to do. I think people get a little too complacent that are in the content sphere, and then they just kind of fizzle out. And obviously, I can't ask people what they do for a living forever.
Right.
And I'm surprised it's been going on for 5 years almost now. It's kind of insane. But yeah, like I do like yacht content. I do like mansion tours, like cribs style videos, like whatever I can do to kind of like make my career as long as possible, because I know it's not going to last forever.
That's cool to see you have that mindset and adapt, because there are a lot of people copying you now, right?
Oh yeah, there's millions of them.
I see random ones every day.
It's kind of like a subgenre now. Like there's some other people that do like other types of man on the street, like how much money, like that kind of genre. But yeah, they're everywhere. So that's why I started showing my face a little more in videos. At the beginning, I didn't show my face for like a full year.
I remember that.
Yeah, like I was just like not a camp. I just accidentally blew up by doing it. So yeah, like my first video for a whole year, people didn't even know what I looked like. I was like, I don't want to have my like face.
Right. Were you just shy or insecure at the time?
Yeah. Like I just didn't want to. I just wasn't into content. Like my first video I posted on TikTok, it got 50 million views.
Holy crap!
I had 0 followers.
Your first one.
First one ever. Yeah. And then because I wouldn't have stuck with it, I just had a funny concept. I'm like, let me ask them what they do. It's kind of funny, more and kind of interesting. And then my second video got like 50 million views again.
Damn.
And then my third video got like 70 million views or something around there. So then I got 1 million followers within a week on TikTok, like within like 6 days.
Crazy.
And I was like, and people were like, yo, this guy kind of sounds like you. I'm like, that's me. Yeah. Like, so yeah, it was completely random. And it took me about a year to be able to be like comfortable in front of the camera, and also to like take claim of this trend essentially.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm the one that started it.
It's such a simple idea, but you really broke the mold, because most people don't talk about finances openly.
Yeah, exactly. It's more so of an American thing. I've tried to do this obviously in like England and stuff, and they're very, it's not as flashy, especially if you go to like Miami, then you get even more flashy. But it really depends on where you're at, and some people are more than willing to.
Yeah.
But it's kind of taboo for some people, and I think it's kind of it's a mix.
Yeah. What about Vegas? Have you hit that yet?
Oh yeah. I'm in Vegas and Miami a lot of the times, and Vegas is kind of the same vibe where people are super flashy and like to show off.
Yeah, that's where I live at.
Okay.
Yeah, I see people going to like the Strip and doing interviews and just ask people your question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Strip is a good spot for it, and there's a big car scene in Vegas. But then, for example, like Miami is where people are showing off, but like you go up a little north, Boca Raton, like you have people that are a lot more like quiet money, like
older money, right?
Yeah, older money. Like it's like a money talks, wealth whispers kind of situation with like yacht owners out there. Like very hard to actually crack a Bugatti owner and have them actually give me a real answer. And that's kind of like yacht owners too. They probably own yachts too. And
those Bugatti owners are secretive.
They're very secretive. Yeah. Like it's hard for me to get a video with a Koenigsegg, Bugatti, or like Pagani owner that gives me a legit answer. That's like, here's how I made my money. Normally they're like joking around, or they're like, oh, like don't do much. And I'm like, literally tell me what you do. Like,
yeah. Cause I feel like if you're dropping millions on a car, you want to hold that information to yourself probably.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of them are in trouble with the IRS too. Or like they don't like, I've like definitely had some sketchy incidents with like supercar owners where they are not giving me enough. And I'm like, yo, like, what do you do? And they're like, oh, are you filming? What's going on? So I've gotten some people in trouble.
Yeah. Have you ever caught someone renting a car and they were trying to act like they owned it?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. I can tell immediately. I'm like friends with half the rental car people. So in Miami, if somebody's in a Lamborghini Huracan, they're renting it. And in LA, if they're in like a Lamborghini Urus with like a group of people, or like a G-Wagon with like 4 people, rental.
Wow.
It's pretty common. Like those are the rental cars, and then also you get like your classic like Lamborghini Huracan anywhere with a group of guys. Yeah,
Classic giveaway. Yeah, I'm sure because you've interviewed thousands of people, you could kind of pick it out at this point.
yeah, yeah. There's like the classic rental cars, and everyone in the car scene knows it too. But it's funny when they try to pass it off as their own because like I can tell immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally have driven this car that you're driving. Like that's not yours.
How's your car collection looking these days?
It's getting up there. I got a Porsche GT4, which
Nice.
is awesome. I wrapped it pink pig livery. It's like a classic livery. And then I have just got a manual BMW 87.
Let's go.
So that's really cool. It's like the lowest mileage E30 is the brand in the country, like 30,000 miles. And then I have a Audi RS-Q8.
Okay.
They call it the well, I'd say it's a Lamborghini Urus without a body kit for $100,000 because it's the same engine.
See, I like that because I was looking at Urus's, but they weren't 6,000 pounds first of all. So
Oh,
for a tax
yeah.
write-off.
That's why I did it too. Yeah.
Oh, so yours is over 6,000.
Yeah, I did it on like December 20th or
Yeah,
something like
that's when I bought my
29.
G-Wagon.
Okay, yeah. The RSQ8 is under it qualifies and same exact car for $150,000 less.
Wow.
It's
Same quality and everything?
I think it's better quality. Yeah, it's just like you're paying the Lamborghini tax. Same thing with like I don't know if you're much of a car, but
I'm getting into it.
Yeah, the Audi R8 is the same car as a Lamborghini Huracan, same engine. It's just you're not paying $100,000 for a Lamborghini badge, basically.
Wow.
It's
That's fascinating, man. I used to love Teslas. How do you feel about those?
That's interesting. I had a Tesla. I just got rid of it about a year ago or 6 months ago. Okay, I'll say like the car scene, people hate Teslas. They're like on all the time. But I'd say they're good cars if you're commuting within a city and you live at home and have a charger. And if you don't, they suck.
Yeah.
Like I had mine and I sold it because I'd come home from a trip and it'd be dead and then I had to tow it. And it was a whole process and I had to go charge it. Like it's just such a pain in the ass and you have such range anxiety that having like a real gas car, I'm so glad I'll never go back to
Yeah,
EVs.
I'm getting rid of mine, man. Because just for road trips, you got to charge 2 to 3 times.
Yeah. It only makes sense if you have like a family in a city and you're not taking it out and about and you have like a car you can take like your family in on like a long trip.
Yeah. I was in a Cybertruck last night, but yeah, I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah, I think I think the Cybertrucks get a lot of hate. Like I think it's kind of like the DeLorean of like now. And I think it's easy to shit on because it's kind of wild. But I just wouldn't I wouldn't own one because it's not practical. But they're interesting. I definitely think Tesla gets overhated. But then again, I sold mine, so
Yeah. Well, I'm speaking from my own experience, like the quality, like I'll have like break inside the car all the time, like
Yeah.
come out of the socket.
the build quality is terrible. I mean, Elon rushed everything out. Like the Cybertruck is had like 30 different reiterations and recalls and all
I
that.
get recalls every month.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing. So I feel like everyone kind of knows what they're getting into when you buy a Cybertruck right now, but I would not buy one. They are cool looking though, I'd say.
Yeah. The price did tank. How's the price holding up on other brands?
Well, that's another thing too. I bought my Tesla at the worst time in 2021 because I just needed a car.
Yeah.
And I spent $50,000 on it, and I just sold mine for $20,000.
Damn.
After 2 years, so 50%, more than 50% depreciation in 2 years is crazy. All the EVs are like that though.
They're all
like
down
the
that
Mercedes EQS is probably the worst one. I think they were like 130,000. Now they're going for like 30,000. Like
What?
something. It's like the worst in the industry, but don't quote me on that. But it's something similar. And the Audis don't do great with depreciation. Porsches are the best. I bought my Porsche for 150,000 before tax, and I could sell it right now for 170,000.
Wow. So it went up.
Yeah, and I bought it. I got lucky because I bought it from a dealer. I got like a good deal, but like Porsches will lose almost. You can sell them like 10 years later for like around the same price.
Holy crap.
It depends on the model, but yeah.
Are any of them above 6,000 pounds?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'd be nice. But if
Yeah,
you
that'd be
want a
great.
good car that won't depreciate, that holds their value the best, Porsche, without a doubt, and they don't break. Yeah.
I'm sure with the way you do your content, you might be able to write it off anyways.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I write off everything but the BMW is written off because I film with them so much and it's part of my brand.
Right. That's
But,
smart.
I mean, I'd say it's a slippery slope. Like my CPA who's a little more conservative. She was like, "For you can do it because you're a car creator.
Yeah.
But if it's not 6,000 pounds, good luck if you're like just a regular small business owner trying to write off like a Lamborghini Aventador. Like the IRS is gonna be like, no.
Yeah. I know people that try to write off their watches. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good, like.
Yeah, I know people that do it too. One of my old roommates started doing that. Yeah, he like, I'm like, he's going to get, if you're getting like suits, I think to a point. They say it's like ordinary and necessary.
Yeah.
To get yes.
Maybe a couple suits. Yeah. I
Yeah,
can see
that makes sense. But a Rolex is not ordinary and necessary unless you're like the king of France or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
Yeah. There's some risky write-offs, man. But
Yeah, people get crazy with it. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I think you can be pretty like, you know, again, not to, I don't want to dive too much into tax stuff. I don't know who's listening in the IRS, but I'm pretty conservative with what I write off. Like, it has to make sense. I'm not writing off like
Yeah.
my mansion. Well, that's another thing
Yeah.
actually. I don't do that, but you know, you can write off.
I write off my office, and
Yeah, like the square
I'm
footage on that.
looking into right now the backyard, because if you have events,
Yeah.
like networking events and stuff.
Like Ty, I was just at a Ty
Lopez. Oh, how
thing.
was that? I almost went to that.
Oh yeah, it was actually way cool.
Really?
I've done like a mansion tour there, and I don't know, like I love him, but I thought it was gonna be more of like a crowd that's, what's the word I'm looking for?
High end or
No, like guru crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Like cringe a little bit, but everyone was kind of sick, and it was a fire party. So
You
yeah,
seem selective with that one.
yeah, no, it was actually good, and I think it makes sense because he really is writing off. Like whatever he's doing is probably by the book.
Yeah.
But exactly, he throws these mansion parties every month. He's doing a Halloween one, and he's making a lot of money being able to write off his $100 million mansion.
Right.
So-
Yeah, I saw he made a video that he's renting it, but he's figuring out ways to write off.
Yeah, and he'll literally say that like in videos, like I am
Yeah.
using this to write off. Like he clearly knows what he's doing. But some people get a little sketchy with the write offs in LA. Like they're like, let me write off my whole thing and just hang out there.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
good. I know the IRS is watching people like us.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm like definitely afraid of them.
No,
So
I mean, they
I pay
wanna-
my taxes like on time in
Yeah.
full. I'm like, no, don't
They'd
mess
love
with
to
them.
make a case out of someone with millions of followers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd be like the paraded around, like, don't do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the OnlyFans girls that I've filmed with are, it's crazy how little they know about taxes. They're like, I'm like, oh, so are you getting, like, do you save up all your money? Obviously, you know, you have a CPA. And they're like, what's a CPA? And I'm like, how much money are you making? And they're like, millions of dollars. And I'm like, that's crazy. You're screwed. Like,
Yeah.
do you know you have to pay
you're
taxes?
wrecked. Half of that.
Yeah, yeah. So.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of heat for that? Because I have them on the show, and like they get some hate, man.
Oh, for sure. I did a lot more videos back in the day. Like now I don't really post videos for the most part where I interview OnlyFans people because it kind of had an effect on my brand, I think, a little bit. And I totally respect like their industry. Like I don't give a like if
You were
somebody
losing sponsors though, right?
yeah, well, more so like I wouldn't know about it because somebody didn't say like, hey, like I'm not doing this thing with you, but I can't be doing like brand deals with Amazon if I'm having like on OnlyFans people on all the time.
Yeah.
Not like I don't respect their industry or think it's interesting. I was getting into like the nitty gritty financials with them
Yeah.
and doing like Vice style interviews. But yeah, it just is what it is as far as advertisers. I
Yeah.
don't make the rules there.
I'm the same way. I think it's interesting. It's a totally different life than me. I'm in a relationship, but it does get views at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like I interviewed like Riley Reid and a couple other people like Skybree when they were coming up, and I got banned from Snapchat for doing the Riley
Just
Reid
for
interview.
interviewing them?
Yeah, and it was very professional, but obviously it was, you know, some of the stuff was pretty like not PG-13, but it was bleeped out. It's mostly me just asking like specifics of financials of like how much you get paid for this scene or that, but obviously, you know, can't dive into that
Yeah.
stuff too much. So I kind of separated myself from that about almost 2 years ago. And I'll still run into people that are driving Ferraris that are 19. And I'm like, okay, obviously you either daddy's money or you do OnlyFans. So there's no escaping that in Los Angeles. But as far as like making a dedicated video, I toned it down a little bit
Yeah,
there.
that makes sense. How's the money on Snap? Is it still decent?
Yeah. It's dying though, compared to what it used to be in the heyday of like 2021. That used to be like my primary income source. And it got really saturated really quickly. And now I still do like weekly episodes on like, you know, there's two ways to make money. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's the show and then there's the posting 100 frames a day.
I can't do that, man.
That's
Because
crazy.
I'm verified and I could do that, but
Yeah.
it's so time consuming.
I mean, I see people like, I won't name any names, but like I've gone and hung around people that do that as their main gig, and holy like you have no life.
No life.
It's
100
also
photos.
like, I feel like it's like not healthy at all.
Like I could see you doing it for like a couple months, but like long term.
Yeah, I might try it out like low key like 30, 40 frames a day, which is still crazy. But some of these people are doing like 200 frames a
I
day.
know.
Like the Dobricks out there, they're filming like 200 and like then they come up with their thumbnail and it's like a clickbait thumbnail at the end and they make money, like they print money.
Yeah, it's a whole nother world. And then you got the TikTok livers.
Oh yeah,
Those guys
that's
are live all
that's
day.
crazy. I would
Yeah,
never.
Jason Nash and a few others.
Oh yeah, well that's
That's a whole nother story.
that's insane. People, it's like e-begging.
Yeah.
No shade on Jason Nash, he's a nice guy actually,
Yeah.
but it is. But I feel like they'd admit that too.
Yeah, I just can't see myself like asking for money like that, you know?
Yeah, I don't even think, how is it like, I don't understand. Some of these people that have 40 million followers are doing it every week, and I'm like, is this to build a fan base or is this to make serious money?
Right.
Do you know any insights on that? Like, I don't know.
I have no idea. I just know there's some people actually doing millions off it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That just seems like it would ruin your life too.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
it's kind of cringe.
I don't know. I'd rather just make, if I'm making money, I want the people watching to like, you know, not lose anything.
Yeah. You're basically asking for a
Yeah.
handout.
I want them to gain knowledge or something.
Yeah,
Like I want it to be a win-win.
I think it just, the people that go to like Times Square and they're like shirtless and like doing weird things, like the NPC people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's some like late stage capitalism, like I don't even know, like scary Gen Alpha stuff.
Yeah. You spent a day with Jack Doherty, right?
Yeah, recently.
Was that before the car crash or after?
Yeah, it's funny timing because I posted the video of his collection tour, like a mansion tour, after the crash happened, and every comment, it went crazy because every comment's like, "R.I.P."
Oh, so the car was still intact.
Yeah, it was still intact. Yeah, he's an interesting dude. He, I mean, he knows he's controversial. Like I was like, I'm going to interview like the tagline is like most controversial man on the internet or something like that, and he's a genius when it comes to making content on his own page where he recycles it and basically like acts like he's filming himself. Like he's good at like being a Jake Paul essentially.
Yeah.
And basically self-deprecating himself to make money. So he knows what he's doing. Like he's getting a rise out of people, and he's been doing that since he's been like 8 years old. But I just find it interesting how good he is at basically like getting hate. But it's not something that can last forever. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not something that's sustainable long term. And he knows that. Like when I was interviewing him, I'm like, what do you like? It's kind of like a tour for him of like, hey, like I'm trying to have people respect me now, but you have to go all in on that. It's like the Forest thing with Logan Paul. Was that?
Yeah, Logan. Like
after that, he kind of was like on his like new route of like, hey, like respect me. Like I'm not gonna do. I think Jack's getting to that point where he's like reaching that peak where he has all the views, everyone hates him, and he needs to now like switch it into, all right, I'm gonna calm down, I'm gonna be liked, and it's gonna take a couple years.
Yeah, he's got to channel that negative energy into positive, right?
Yeah,
There's been a few people that have been able to pull it off.
Yeah.
Jake Paul, Bad Baby.
Oh yeah, he makes a lot of
Lil
money.
Tay did not pull it off. She just keeps getting hate. But
yeah,
so
it doesn't last forever. Like people will eventually. I mean, yeah, Jake Paul is a rare. Yeah, Jake and Logan Paul, rare.
Those two are the best examples I could think of, and Bad Baby.
Yeah.
I mean, she made a lot.
It's interesting because people think he's stupid, and he's not stupid at all. Like he is a genius at being viral, and I just not the best kind of. I mean, it must be draining, basically.
It has to be, yeah.
Having people.
Well, I
hate
could
on
tell he does it for views. I don't think was he actually like that off camera?
He was really nice, honestly. Like he was pretty friendly. I did show up to his place to do an interview, and he like was rolling out of bed and was like, I waited in the lot in his like basically living room for like an hour. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And it was like 1 p.m. So I was like, okay, this dude just woke up. But it was weird because the tone of the interview was sad. Like he was like depressed that people were hating on him so much. And I'm like,
Really?
oh, maybe this is his new leaf to turn around. And then like the next week he's like doing the whole thing where he crashes his car and telling people to film. And I'm like, dude, like you're not helping yourself here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was friendly. I was glad that he took the interview and whatnot. I think he knew obviously I was going to be like somewhat critical of him, but I think the interview was pretty like financially, and I was just kind of getting to the bottom of like, yo, like you have people hate on you. Like, what is that like? And he was just kind of a little sad about it, honestly.
Yeah, he's coming on this show soon, actually. But at the end of the day, he's human. Like, obviously, he sees the comments and stuff, and
yeah,
he feels it.
It's got to run a toll on him for sure.
For sure, it would me up.
Yeah,
I've gotten a lot better. I used to really let hate get to me, but now I'm like,
me too. Yeah,
pretty hard shell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah, if you don't, you wouldn't make it, I guess, in the industry.
Yeah. I mean, I was getting roasted last week for an interview I did.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't really affect me.
Yeah, I guess I get it a little easier than most creators because most of my stuff is I'm interviewing. Obviously, you're interviewing people too, but like most of my camera is on the other person POV, and I'll just flash myself here and there. So it's easier to latch on to like hating someone if like they're on screen more. I'm kind of like a spotless lamb sometimes as far as like, oh, I didn't say it. They're the ones saying it. I'm interviewing them. So I think I get off a little easier, but still people, over 4 years of doing this, keep roast me.
They'll find a way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I like it too now. I'm like, yeah, more engagement.
Yeah, we'll see if Jack can turn it around. What about Neon? You think he could turn it around?
I think Neon's a little better at, well, I don't know. You know, him and I asked him about, they have beef too.
Oh, they do?
I don't know if it was fake though. I was like, is this real?
You can never tell with that stuff.
I don't know, because at the Hard Rock, they both got into a scuffle, and that was the whole thing. But I think Neon, I haven't met him. He's supposed to go on my car rally last year, and he ended up bailing last minute. So I was like,
Does he have a car?
yeah, he has a bunch of crazy cars. Him and his girlfriend, Sam Frank, I'm friends with. I don't know if their relationship was legit.
They announced it was fake, so.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, like Neon's, Neon's not like America's top model, but yeah, I think a lot of that stuff's fake. Although, you know what isn't fake is he did a video with Rick, what's his name?
Ric Flair?
Not Ric Flair. He's a guy that you can cut some of this if you.
Yeah,
but he's it starts with an R. Rick, no, he's a white guy that raps. He has like grills or sharp teeth.
Riff Raff.
Riff Raff, yes. He did a video with Riff Raff where he's playing him in basketball, but obviously he's in on it. We're like, oh, I challenge you to a one-on-one, like for your Rolex. Jack Doherty was telling me this.
Yeah.
And he basically was under the assumption probably that it was all going to be fake, but Riff Raff thought it was legit. So they were playing like a pickup game, and he just like dunking on him and Riff Raff at the end is like, yo, like you owe me a watch.
That's
so
hilarious.
It was the whole thing. He didn't even know.
I mean, if you're going to fake it, tell him before.
Yeah. No, he was like, I'm not faking shit. Yeah.
Basketball is no joke for me. If you're challenging me to basketball, we're playing for something.
Yeah. So I think he didn't get the memo, which is kind of
Neon's actually decent. I saw him shoot around a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you play any sports?
I did like tennis. I did track and cross country.
Oh,
so
I did
no.
track.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, what was your event?
I did 2 mile, 1 mile.
I was a miler.
Okay.
Yeah, what was your best time?
It's down there, 4:37.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
That's
but,
pretty good.
I mean, like, I told not people that don't run, and they're like, oh my God, but people that are crazy runners. What was your time?
4:40. So
okay. All right. So we were like
800 was my event.
Oh, nice.
I would do the mile too.
Okay. Yeah. 800 was my splits in the 800 were the same as my mile. Like I reached max speed at that point.
Okay. So you ran a 220, 800 or?
Yeah. My 800 was whatever my mile split was. I like could not go faster. Yeah. I was more of a 2 miler. And
what was your 2 mile?
I forget, honestly.
Probably
but
10.
Yeah, it was something around there. I should know, but it was so long ago. I remember my mile for sure. It was like double my mile, add like 30, 40 seconds or something like that.
Nice. I attribute a lot of my mindset to running.
Yeah.
Long distance running.
It's so, I don't even know how I did it back then.
I cannot do it now.
Psycho. Like, I don't know how. Like,
I go on a 10-minute run now and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to get myself to run more. I feel like it's like better for my mental health. And I'm like, this sucks. Yeah.
It
I
is
can't
good.
do it.
I just ran in the Nelk Boys had a 5K like a month ago in Vegas.
Oh, no way.
And I hadn't run since high school.
Oh, wow.
And I ran it.
I've done a couple videos of some of those guys. They're crazy. Steve will do it. I did a Ferrari giveaway with him.
Oh, wow.
He was high as
away a Ferrari?
I was getting paid by a company to essentially like promo it, and it was like their Ferrari they were giving away.
Damn.
It ended up kind of being like a sketchy company, I think maybe. I don't know.
I think I saw this.
I think somebody got it though. So
someone in LA got it, right?
Yeah, so I think it was legit there, but it was just the whole car. I don't really do much of those car giveaway things anymore unless it's legit.
A lot of liability probably.
For sure, yeah. But Steve will do it. Hilarious, dude.
Yeah, he is funny, man.
And then,
I hope to see him back on YouTube eventually, honestly.
Oh yeah, he's like banned
Got
permanent.
banned on
right?
YouTube.
They even feature him. I think Nelk gets banned too.
Wow.
If they even have him in the background, they'll be like striked and given away.
So if you had him on your channel, you think they'd take it down?
Well, I put him in a short form video, but I think it's more so for them, like because he's associated with their brand. I feel like anyone could interview them and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole stuff's kind of crazy. Like they had Trump on and they got like, he's like, it's not gonna be banned, it's not gonna be taken down, and it gets taken down. Like,
yeah, it had 10 million views too.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I'm like, regardless of like who you support, it's just an interview.
Yeah, it's just
like,
an interview. I interview both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
But I clearly see they suppress one side.
Oh, yeah, it's
clearly
not even up for debate.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
certain topics they 100% like will not push.
Yeah, like I would interview, like I did a video with Joe Biden. The White House like called me up and they're like, "Hey, we want you to do a video with Biden." Yeah, they just emailed me. I thought it was.
What did he pull up in?
It was for the Detroit Auto Show. It was a Cadillac Lyric.
Okay.
But they didn't tell me what he was going to be in. It was like he's going to be here, like obviously it had to be screened. People are like, oh, did you just run up to him? I'm like, obviously not.
Secret Service.
Yeah, like
patted you down.
But it was like legit, like he'll be here, roll on up. Which was crazy. I thought it was a scam though. I got an email from the White House that was like, greetings from the White House with the subject line, and I was like, almost clicked the trash button, and then I'm like, let me look at the domain name, and it's like whitehouse.gov.
Damn.
And I was like, what the? So
That's
then
wild.
I did an interview, and they're like, we'd like to ask you about maybe doing an interview with somebody. And I'm like, is this about the main man? And they're like, we can't say anything yet. But then they did a crazy background check on me.
Damn.
Like the most insane one ever. I'm like, what do you need? They're like, your name and your hometown. I was like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, duh, we're the government.
They got everything on you.
We know it's your social
I don't know if
security.
I would have passed out. I got arrested in high school.
Oh, okay.
Trespassing.
You'd be fine.
You think so?
Trespassing? Yeah.
You had a clean record?
Completely clean, yeah.
Nice.
Squeaky clean. I don't know how.
No arrests.
No arrests, yeah.
Wow.
That's insane though, because my friends that know me are like, that's
You're a DJ.
I've definitely been like blessed up by getting not arrested. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my first speeding ticket like a year ago, which is crazy too.
That's pretty late.
No, I know, dude. I have like magical powers of speeding.
I mean, there's some techniques.
Yeah,
You have the police radar?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I have a crazy
So
one.
2 mile radius, right?
Yeah. Like I do car rallies, like I said. I have one called the Legends
for those
Rally.
who
And
deaf.
like, it's like, we have like, people have like radar jammers on these things. Like, but we have like, there's like 100 of us driving together and like people have like apps.
Yeah.
So you report
And you guys
it.
are going fast.
Oh, people are going crazy. Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah.
I heard of one rally. My friend Tony Nino said you drive across the country and the first one there wins.
Oh, it's called the Cannonball Run.
Yeah, he said he got arrested. And
Yeah,
like
it's like, well, yeah, it's a rally. It's not like, usually people don't do it in groups, but sometimes they do. But it's called the Cannonball Run, and the record was like shattered during COVID because no one was on the roads.
Oh, smart.
But people do everything. They'll drive like the most common car that you can think of that's secretly modified to not draw attention. They'll have like blackout, like jammers. They'll have like P cups. Like they'll have like a team that will drive up and like refuel while you're going.
Whoa.
Like it's like
It's that serious?
oh, it's crazy because it's competition. Yeah, like
What do you get if you win?
Nothing, just bragging rights. It's literally just like I have the fastest SUV time on the Cannonball Run.
Wow.
It's an official route from New York to LA, and people do it in like 19 hours or something.
No.
20 hours is like the
Dude,
record.
I did that drive when I moved to LA and it took 3 days.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is literally like they're going like average of 160, like
Holy
through cities.
crap.
Like it's super dangerous. Like obviously,
Yeah.
it's a crazy. It's a whole thing. It's like a challenge, and people try to beat each other's times. But the COVID times are basically, it's like people don't even consider them to be technically fair potentially.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts because there's less cars driving.
Yeah, but somebody just broke one last week for diesel. They have all these different side ones. It's
Wow.
like motorcycle, diesel, electric, like all these different categories.
That's cool. Yeah, they should separate the COVID times from the regular
Yeah,
ones.
because it's
like the NBA when they had the COVID championship with LeBron.
yeah,
in
yeah.
the bubble.
It's the same.
like-
yeah.
It's not the same because you don't have the audience.
Not canon. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I agree.
That sounds like a fun one though. Yeah, my buddy got totally screwed. He got arrested
Oh,
and they
yeah.
towed his car and everything.
Well, they'll arrest you like when I do these rallies. Every time somebody usually gets arrested. and
Really?
because people are going 220. Like
Holy
not on my rally, but on rallies allegedly, people are going like I'll ask people. I've done videos, compilations where I go, "What's the fastest you've ever gone?" And then they'll be like 220, 215, 230. Like what the?
dude.
Everyone
that's
has
scary.
gone at least like 180, 190 on these things.
I think the fastest I've hit is 120 and that was sketchy. My car was shaking.
Oh, okay.
You got a wild side to you.
Yeah, I've gone 183, 184 allegedly in my car.
We're self-snitching on this show.
But like any faster than that, if you're on like a road, is so sketchy.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it in the
one
desert.
little tweak and you're
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 yeah.
done.
Anything above like 100, you're done. So
Yeah.
yeah, that quick, it happens all the time. People die on them.
Damn. Would you say you're an adrenaline junkie?
Yeah, for sure. Not like, well, I don't know. I do like skydiving, scuba diving, like all that kind of stuff. Not like, oh yeah, I'd say so.
There's levels to it.
Yeah, like I'm not doing like squirrel suit jumping, like
Oh,
that base jumping or
It
whatever
looks
it's called.
fun, but
Crazy.
yeah, I don't know about that one.
What about you?
I would say I'm not.
No, yeah.
I'm just a PC gamer. I like podcasting. Yeah, I'm pretty mellow.
Yeah, I'd say more so than the average person for sure for me.
Yeah. I noticed though a lot of really successful people have that wild side to them.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I definitely am like I get my done, but I like to have fun too, and that's like where a lot of my videos come into play. Is like I'll be filming people on like a yacht partying or like a mansion, but it's like entertaining like Vice style content. But obviously I have to be on my and like
Yeah.
not give
Drunk
well,
and stuff.
exactly. So it's a kind of a fine line. Like I have employees, and it's weird too because they'll be doing these shoots and stuff like that where like you're like drinking,
Yeah.
but you need to keep it. It's a weird industry to be
No,
in.
I had to fire one of my last assistants. I had to fire him. He was drinking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I had yeah.
That's
wow.
where I kind of draw the line. If you're like filming and you're drunk,
Yeah,
man,
it's weird being in our industry because you with your employees you get way closer than normal employees. Like it's not like a normal 9 to 5 like work balance
yeah,
where you have like an HR. I mean, it depends on the operation scale, but like for me at least, I'm on the road with my employees traveling around doing fun stuff. But like also you need to lay down the line.
right.
and like be like, yo, like I know this is all fun and stuff, but like this is a business.
100%, dude. That's been my issue because I'm
Yeah.
on my 7th assistant. And I don't think I'm a but the problem is I just get too close with him. We
Yeah.
become friends. We're traveling to a new city every month.
Yeah. I've had to be like, whoa, because I had a guy that used to film with me, and he was like my best friend.
Yeah.
And then it ended in a whole thing, and now we're fine. But exactly, like when you're friends on payroll, he's like my best friend. So
Damn.
and,
Yeah,
like,
that's a tricky one.
your best friend's asking for a raise. It's weird.
Yeah, it's super
It's like
weird.
hiring a like your brother or something like that, which I've avoided too.
I can't work with family anymore. I'll never
Yeah.
give them money. I'll never work with them. Let's keep that separate.
Oh yeah, people told me that as advice, and it's been working out great. Yeah.
It never works out.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, as far as like not hiring them. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't employ your family.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Daniel, what's next for you, man? It's been fun.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna start a show. I think we're pitching to networks.
Nice.
I can't say who right now, but yeah, we're gonna make this into like what I'm doing into essentially like long form TV show, like on some of the major streaming platforms. So
Oh, yeah.
I'd be on the lookout for that. But hopefully it gets picked up. And yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. We'll link your stuff below.
Yeah. So efficient.
Yeah, I am. Thanks for
cool.
watching, guys. See you next time.